Statute of the Management Board of the Georgian Autocephalous Orthodox Church, adopted by the expanded local council of the Georgian Orthodox Church on September 18 to 19, 1995. Mtskheta, Svetitskhoveli. Chapter 1. General Provisions. Paragraph 1. The Patriarchate of Georgia. The Georgian Orthodox Church is a multinational local autocephalous, independent, Orthodox Church, the vast majority of whose population is Georgian. It is in dogmatic faithful liturgical unity and prayerful canonical relationship with all other local autocephalous Orthodox churches. Paragraph 2. The jurisdiction of the local Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Georgia, hereinafter, the Church of Georgia, includes 1. All Orthodox Christians living in Georgia. 2. Those Orthodox Georgians living outside the borders of Georgia to whom the jurisdiction of another local Orthodox Church does not apply. 3. Orthodox Christians living in the Republic of Armenia. 4. Those Orthodox Christians living outside the borders of Georgia who are not included in the jurisdiction of other local Orthodox churches and who wish to be included in the jurisdiction of the Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Georgia. Paragraph 3. The Georgian Church is divided into dioceses, episcopacies, and parishes. Paragraph 4. The Georgian Church includes 27 dioceses with the cities and districts included in them. 1. Mtskheta-Tbilisi Diocese, the city of Tbilisi with its districts, the city of Mtskheta, and Gardabani districts, excluding the villages of Tsilkani, Mokrani, and Sagaramo. The see and residents are in Mtskheta and Tbilisi. 2. Oliverdi Diocese, the city of Tel Aviv, the city of Akhmeda, Tel Aviv and Akhmeda districts. Title of the Archpriest, Bishop Abba Alaverdi. See in Oliverdi, residence in Tel Aviv. 3. Akhaltsyk Diocese, the city of Akhaltsyk, Aspinza and Adagini districts. Title of the Archpriest, Bishop Akhaltsyk. See and residence in Akhaltsyk and Sapora. 4. Batumi and Skalta Diocese, the city of Batumi, the city of Kabilidi, Kalvachori, Keda, Shwakavi and Kulo districts. Title of the Archpriest, Bishop of Batumi and Skalta. See in Batumi and Skalta, residence in Batumi and Kabilidi. 5. Bodbi Diocese, the city of Sinagi, the districts of Sinagi and Dida Pliskaro. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop Bodbeli. See in Bodbi, residence in Bodbi and Sinagi. 6. Balnasai and Dmanasai Diocese, the city of Balnasai, the city of Dmanasai, the districts of Balnasai and Dmanasai. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Balnasai and Dmanasai. See and residence in Balnasai and Dmanasai. 7. Borjomi and Akalkalaki Diocese, the city of Borjomi, the city of Akalkalaki, the districts of Borjomi, Akalkalaki and Ninotsminda. The title of the Archbishop is Bishop of Borjomi and Akalkalaki. The see is in Borjomi, the residence is in Borjomi, Akalkalaki and Ninotsminda. 8. The Diocese of Vani and Baghdadi, the city of Vani, the districts of Vani and Baghdadi. The title of the Archbishop is Bishop of Vani and Baghdadi. The see is in Baghdadi, the residence is in Vani and Baghdadi. 9. The Diocese of Zugdidi and Saishur, the city of Zugdidi, the city of Tsalonjika, the districts of Zugdidi and Tsalonjika. The title of the Archbishop is Bishop of Zugdidi and Saishur. The see is in Zugdidi and Saishur, the residence is in Zugdidi and Tsalonjika. 10. Eparchy of Manglisi and Salka, the city of Tetritskaro, the city of Salka, the districts of Tetritskaro and Salka. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Manglisi and Salka, see and residence in Manglisi and Salka. 11. Eparchy of Margveti, the city of Zestaponi, the city of Turjola, the districts of Zestaponi, Turjola and Karagali. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Margveli. See in Zestaponi, residence in Zestaponi, Turjola and Karagali. 12. Eparchy of Nikrisi, the city of Kvareli, the city of Lagadiki, the districts of Kvareli and Lagadiki. It also includes the churches of Saint-Gilo. Title of the priest, Bishop of Nikrisi. See in Nikrisi and Kvareli, residence in Kvareli and Lagadiki. 13. Nakortsmid Diocese, the city of Ambrolauri, the city of Oni, the districts of Ambrolauri and Oni. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Nkorsmid. See in Nkorsmid, residence in Ambrolauri and Oni. 14 Nkosi and Tskhoveli Diocese, the city of Tskhoveli, the districts of Tskhoveli, Kalgori, Java, and Znori. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Nkosi and Tskhoveli. See and residence in Nkosi and Tskhoveli. 15 Diocese of Rustavi, the city of Rustavi, the city of Marnoli, the Marnoli district. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Rustavi. See in Rustavi, residence in Rustavi and Marnoli. 16 Diocese of Semtavi and Gori, the city of Gori, the city of Kaspi, the districts of Gori and Kaspi. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Semtavi and Gori. See and residence in Semtavi and Gori. 17 Diocese of Sagarejo and Gorjani, the city of Sagarejo, the city of Gorjani, the districts of Sagarejo and Gorjani. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Sagarejo and Gorjani. See in Sagarejo and Gorjani, residence in Gorjani and Ninotsminda. 18 Diocese of Urbnisai and Ruisi, the city of Kashuri, the city of Kareli, the districts of Kashuri and Kareli. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Urbnisai and Ruisi. See in Urbnisai, Ruisi and Kashuri, residence in Kashuri. 19 Diocese of Poti, the city of Poti, the city of Kobe, the city of Sanaki, the districts of Poti, Kobe, and Sanaki. Title of the Archbishop, AP. Skopos of Poti. See in Poti, residence in Poti, Kobe, and Sanaki. 20 Kutaisi-Gainati Diocese, the city of Kutaisi, Skaltubo, and Tibuli districts. Title of the Patriarch, Bishop of Kutaisi-Gainati. See and residence in Kutaisi and Galati. 21 Shekemiti Diocese, the city of Ozurgeti, the city of Lanchkudi, Ozurgeti, Lanchkudi, and Chakatori districts. Title of the Patriarch, Bishop of Shekemiti. See in Shekemiti and Ozurgeti, residence in Ozurgeti, Lanchkudi, and Chakatori. 22 Tsagiri and Svaneti Diocese, the city of Tsagiri, the districts of Tsagiri, Mestia, and Lenteki. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Tsagiri and Svaneti. See in Tsagiri and Mestia, residence in Tsagiri, Mestia, and Lenteki. 23 Tskhoveli Diocese, the city of Sukhumi, the city of Akamchire, the city of Gali, the city of Gadada, the city of Gagra, the districts of Sukhumi, Golripshi, Gali, Akamchire, Gagra, and Gadada. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Tskhoveli. See in Sukhumi and New Athos, residence in Sukhumi, Gadada, and Gagra. 24 Tsilkani Diocese, the city of Dashidi, the village of Tsilkani, Mokrani, and Sagaramo, Dashidi, Kazbegi, and Tainidi districts. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Tsilkani. See in Tsilkani, residence in Tsilkani, Dashidi, and Tainidi. 25 Diocese of Chiatura, and Sachkir districts. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Chiatura. See in Chiatura, residence in Chiatura and Sachkir. 26 Diocese of Kandidi, Abasha City, Martvili City, Abasha, Martvili, and Chkaratska districts. Title of the Archbishop, Bishop of Kandidi. See in Martvili, residence in Martvili, Abasha, and Chkaratsku. 27 Koni Eparchy, the city of Samtridia, the city of Koni, the districts of Samtridia and Koni. Title of the Patriarch, Bishop of Koni. See in Koni, residence in Koni and Samtridia. Paragraph 5. The Georgian Church carries out its activities on the following foundations. 1. Holy Scripture and Divine Tradition. 2. The canons and statutes of the Holy Apostles, the Holy Ecumenical and Local Councils, and the Holy Fathers. 3. The decrees of the local councils of a Georgian Church. 4. The Statute of the Management Government of the Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Georgia, the Constitution of Georgia, and relevant laws. Paragraph 6. The Georgian Church is separated from the state, is independent, and carries out relations with it on the basis of church laws, the state constitution, and relevant legislation. Paragraph 7. The highest body of church authority and governance is the local church council of the Georgian Church, the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church, and in the period between councils, the highest church authority and ruler is the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Note: Holy Synod of the Georgian Church is the second official name of the local church council of the Georgian Orthodox Church. Paragraph 8. The following have the right to an ecclesiastical court: the local church council of the Georgian Church, the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church, the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, and the ruling bishop of the diocese. Paragraph 9. The Patriarchate of Georgia, its departments, institutions, dioceses, parishes, monasteries, theological schools, and parishes and institutions abroad enjoy the rights of a legal entity. Chapter 2. The Local Orthodox Church of Georgia. Ecclesiastical Council, Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia. Paragraph 1. The highest authority in the Georgian Church in the spheres of doctrine, church governance, and church court, that is, legislative, executive, and judicial power, belongs to Georgia. The Church Council of the Church, the Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia. Paragraph 2. The Holy Synod of the Georgian Orthodox Church is convened by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, or his successor, as needed, at least twice a year, and presides over it. Paragraph 3. The members of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church are the ruling hierarchs of the Diocese of the Georgian Church and the choir bishops of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 4. The Holy Synod of the Georgian Church. 1. Interprets the teaching of the Orthodox Church on the basis of Holy Scripture and Holy Tradition. Takes care of dogmatic faithful and canonical unity with other local autocephalous Orthodox churches. 2. Considers and resolves canonical, liturgical, doctrinal, and other issues that concern the internal and external activities of the Church. 3. Ensures the unity of the Georgian Church. Protects the sanctity of the Orthodox faith and Christian morality. 4. Establishes the recognition, canonization of new saints and the corresponding divine services. 5. Takes care of the legal relationship between the Church and the state, in accordance with the laws of the Church, the decrees of church councils, the regulations of the Management Board of the Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Georgia, the Constitution and laws of the state. 6. Makes principal decisions on relations with other autocephalous Orthodox churches. 7. Expresses his/her attitude to the state and society through appropriate means, about the events taking place in the world and the problems that have arisen. 8. Creates or abolishes dioceses, changes their territorial boundaries and names. 9. Elects the patriarchs of the Church of Georgia and ordains them. 10. If necessary, upon the proposal of the Catholicos Patriarch, transfers the patriarchs from one diocese to another. 11. If necessary, makes decisions on the retirement of the ruling patriarchs. 12. Hears the reports of the ruling patriarchs on the state of the diocese. 13. Establishes the procedure for all church courts. 14. Establishes church awards. 15. Approves, amends, abolishes, and explains its decrees that affect church life. 16. Creates special commissions to study various issues the Holy Synod is concerned with. 17. Solving important theological problems of the domestic and foreign activities of the Georgian Church. 18. Preservation, translation, and publication of the text of the Holy Scriptures. 19. Preservation, correction, and publication of the text of liturgical books. 20. Publication of collections of church canons, relevant textbooks for theological and secular schools, theological literature, and periodicals. 21. Improvement of theological education. 22. Provision of pensions for clergy and lay employees of the Church. 23. Accounting, protection, and replenishment of the Church treasury. Paragraph 5. The chairman of the Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia is the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, or the patriarchal throne appointed by him. Paragraph 6. According to the canons of the Holy Orthodox Church, a church council that is not convened by the Catholicos Patriarch or the patriarchal throne is illegal. Paragraph 7. The Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia is the first and last instance in the Church of Georgia, which is authorized to judge the Patriarch, to consider the dogmatic and canonical errors of his activities. Paragraph 8. The Church Council of the Church of Georgia is the first and last instance in the Church of Georgia, which considers conflicts between patriarchs in a judicial manner. Note: without any complaint, the Ecclesiastical Synod of the Church of Georgia is authorized to hold accountable a priest who clearly violates church laws and regulations. Paragraph 9. The Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia is the last instance for those clergy and laity who have been sentenced by the ruling patriarch of the diocese to a ban on priestly service, excommunication from the priesthood, excommunication until death, or excommunication from the church, anathema, as well as for those clergy and laity who have sufficient grounds to appeal the verdict of the ruling patriarch of their diocese. Paragraph 10. Decisions at the Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia are made by a majority of votes. In the event of an equal division of votes, the decision supported by the chairman of the council, the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, or the enthroned one, will be adopted. Paragraph 11. The Holy Synod of the Georgian Church approves the agenda, program, and regulations for its sessions. Paragraph 12. Attendance at the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church is a canonical obligation of the patriarchs of the Georgian Church. The patriarch may not attend a session of the Holy Synod due to illness or other important reason recognized by the Holy Synod. If the patriarch fails to appear at the Holy Synod for an unworthy reason, then he is subject to fraternal admonition from the entire congregation or temporary removal from the priesthood. Paragraph 13. If the patriarch fails to attend a session of the Holy Synod due to an important reason, then he is obliged to report to the Holy Synod in writing his opinion on the issues under discussion. Paragraph 14. No member of the Holy Synod may abstain from voting. If the high priest does not agree with the adopted resolution, he must declare this at the same session, and within three days of the session, he must submit his opinion in writing, which will be attached to the minutes of the Church Council. Paragraph 15. The resolutions of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church are binding on every member of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 16. The resolutions of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church are first signed by the chairman of the meeting, the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, or the enthroned one, then by the members of the meeting in order of precedence, regardless of whether they agree with the decision made on the issues discussed. Paragraph 17. The resolutions of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Orthodox Church enter into force immediately upon adoption, unless the resolution provides for other terms. Paragraph 18. The place for convening the session of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Orthodox Church shall be chosen by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, or the one who sits on the patriarchal throne. Chapter 3. The Expanded Council of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 1. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, or the one who sits on the patriarchal throne, shall convene the Expanded Council of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 2. The meeting of the Expanded Council of the Georgian Church. The convocation takes place only in two cases. 1. When electing the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. 2. When approving the new regulations of the Management Board of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 3. The Expanded Assembly of the Georgian Church consists of a. All members of the Holy Synod. b. 2 clergy and 1 layperson invited from each diocese, each monastery, as well as 2 to 2 delegates from theological academies and seminaries, 4 delegates from the Galati Academy of Sciences, and the same number of representatives from the Mtskheta diocese as will be invited from all other dioceses. Paragraph 4. In accordance with the decrees of the ecumenical councils, the patriarchs participate in the expanded church council with the right to vote, while the clergy and monastic orders, as well as the laity, participate with the right to a deliberative vote. Paragraph 5. By order of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, scientific experts may be invited to the Expanded Council of the Church of Georgia. Chapter 4. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 1. The head of the Georgian Church is the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and the Archbishop of Mtskheta. Paragraph 2. A candidate for the Catholicos Patriarchate of all Georgia must meet the following requirements. Must be Georgian by nationality. Must be a high priest of the Georgian Orthodox Church. Must have a theological education and sufficient experience in church governance. Must be at least 40 years old and not more than 70 years old. Must be a monk. Paragraph 3. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia is elected by the Expanded Assembly of the Church of Georgia. Paragraph 4. In the event the death, resignation, or other reason that makes it impossible for the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia to fulfill his duties, the successor to the patriarchal throne established by the Catholicos Patriarch shall govern the Church until the election of a new Catholicos Patriarch. Paragraph 5. In the event that the successor to the patriarchal throne has not been determined, the preeminent hierarch by ordination automatically becomes the successor. Paragraph 6. After the death of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, the preeminent hierarch by ordination, in the presence of the majority of the members of the Holy Synod, opens the will left by the Catholicos Patriarch and announces the identity of the successor to the patriarchal throne. Paragraph 7. Canonical obedience to the successor to the patriarchal throne determined by the will of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia is the duty of every member of the Church of Georgia. Paragraph 8. 40 days after the patriarchal throne is occupied, but no later than 2 months, the patriarchal throne shall convene an expanded council of the Georgian Church, at which the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia shall be elected. Paragraph 9. Before the expanded council of the Georgian Church, the Patriarch shall convene the Holy Synod to select candidates for the Patriarchate. Paragraph 10. The Holy Synod shall elect 3 candidates to be presented at the expanded council. Paragraph 11. Every member of the Holy Synod shall have the right to present 1 candidate for the Patriarchate, including himself. Paragraph 12. The 3 candidates for the Patriarchate who receive the majority of votes shall run for election at the expanded council as candidates for the Patriarchate. Paragraph 13. All participants in the expanded assembly have the right to express their opinion about the candidates. Paragraph 14. Only the patriarchs participate in the vote for the election of the Catholicos Patriarch. Paragraph 15. The candidate who receives more than half of the votes of the patriarchs participating in the assembly shall be considered elected as the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 16. If no candidate receives more than half of the votes, a second ballot shall be held, and the 2 candidates who receive the majority of votes in the first ballot shall also participate in Rochelle. Paragraph 17. The enthronement of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia shall take place in the Patriarchal Cathedral of the Holy 12 Apostles in Svetitskhoveli, Mtskheta. Paragraph 18. The election of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, in accordance with the Orthodox tradition, takes place forever until the death of the Catholicos Patriarch. Paragraph 19. The full title of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia is His Holiness and Beatitude, Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and Archbishop of Mtskheta, Great Bishop, Our Father. Paragraph 20. All clergy are obliged to commemorate the name of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia during divine services in all churches within the jurisdiction of the Georgian Church, both in Georgia and outside its borders, with the following formula: His Holiness and Beatitude, Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and Archbishop of Mtskheta, Great Bishop, Our Father, name. Paragraph 21. The signs of honor of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia are a purple mantle, a black patriarchal cap with a cross and seraphim depicted on the wings, 2 panagia and a cross, a large paraman, and the right to carry the cross. Paragraph 22. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia has his own twifar and seal. Paragraph 23. The Catholicos Patriarch of Georgia is the ruling hierarch of the Mtskheta eparchy. Paragraph 24. The direct jurisdiction of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia includes the cathedrals of Sioni and Tbilisi, Svetitskhoveli and Mtskheta, Galati, Makhvi and Gonio, as well as all Stavropygial monasteries. Paragraph 25. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia convenes and presides over the Holy Synod and the expanded council of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 26. During the period between councils, the highest ecclesiastical authority and ruler of the Georgian Church, is the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 27. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia carries out his activities on the following foundations. 1. Holy Scripture and Divine Tradition. 2. The canons and statutes of the Holy Apostles, the Holy Ecumenical and Local Councils, and the Holy Fathers. 5. The decrees of the local councils of the Church of Georgia. 4. The Statute of the Governing Board of the Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Georgia, the Constitution of Georgia, and relevant laws. Paragraph 28. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia performs the functions of a court of first instance for Orthodox Christians of the Mtskheta diocese and the functions of a court of second instance for Orthodox Christians of the other dioceses of the Church of Georgia, who have sufficient grounds to appeal the verdict of their ruling patriarch. Paragraph 29. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia is authorized to issue a reprimand or impose ecclesiastical punishment on the clergy, monks, and laity within the jurisdiction of the Church of Georgia and to notify the governing bishop of the relevant diocese. Paragraph 30. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. 1. Takes care of the implementation of the ecclesiastical decrees of the Georgian Orthodox Church. 2. Takes care of the unity of the hierarchy of the Georgian Orthodox Church. 3. Signas the decrees of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church and other general ecclesiastical documents. 4. Establishes relations with the leaders of other autocephalous Orthodox churches, as well as with the leaders of other confessions, both on behalf of the Georgian Autocephalous Church and on his own behalf. 5. Is the plenipotentiary representative of the Georgian Orthodox Church before the state authorities. 6. Exercises supreme supervision and control over all church affairs. 7. Takes care of free episcopal sees and their filling. 8. Supervises and directs the election of a new patriarch. Together with other patriarchs, he ordains the new patriarch. Gives him or her a certificate of ordination. 9. Supervises the patriarchs in the diocesan administration. He ordains the diocesan diocese under the jurisdiction of the Georgian Church. 10. If necessary, instructs the archpriests to temporarily govern the free diocese for reasons provided for by other laws. 11. Gives the archpriests fraternal advice and pastoral remarks regarding both their personal lives and the performance of their archpriestly duties. In case of negligence on their part, he appeals to the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church. 12. Accepts for consideration cases of misunderstandings arising between the archpriests. The decision of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia is binding on both sides. 13. Accepts complaints against the archpriests and gives them legal proceedings. 14. Grants permission to the archpriests to travel abroad for official business. 15. Approves all decisions of general church importance of the archpriests governing the diocese. 16. Elevates the hierarchs to the established church ranks and grants them church awards. 17. Considers the reports of the hierarchs on the state of the diocese, gives them an assessment, and takes the necessary measures. 18. Appoints revisions due to various needs and cases. 19. Has the right to establish stavropigia. 20. Approves, and in special cases appoints himself the abbots of monasteries. 21. Takes care of the spread of Orthodox theology, supervises and directs Christian education. 22. Appoints and approves the rectors and vice-rectors of theological schools. Approves the granting of scientific theological ranks and degrees. Supervises the educational committee. 23. Supervises and directs Christian education in secular educational institutions. 24. Appoints clergy or lay persons for service outside the borders of Georgia, as needed by the Church. 25. Awards established church awards to clergy and lay persons. 26. Takes care of the timely preparation of Holy Myron and blesses it. 27. Creates and abolishes economic and production departments, organizations, and institutions under the Patriarchate of Georgia, which carry out their activities in accordance with their statutes and the relevant legislation of the state. 28. Takes care of the protection and beautification of the graves of saints. 29. Takes care of the restoration of churches and the construction of new temples.
E.
Chapter 5. The Patriarchate of all Georgia. Paragraph 1. The Patriarchate of all Georgia is also called the set of institutions that are directly subordinate to the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 2. The Patriarchate of all Georgia, its departments and services are called upon to assist the Catholicos Patriarch in the exercise of executive power and are accountable to him. Paragraph 3. The departments and services of the Patriarchate of all Georgia are established, their heads are appointed and dismissed by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 4. The activities of the departments and services of the Patriarchate of all Georgia are regulated by the relevant statutes, which are approved by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 5. The departments and services of the Patriarchate of all Georgia are the supervisory and coordinating bodies of similar institutions operating in the diocese. Paragraph 6. The Patriarchate of Georgia, its departments, institutions, dioceses, parishes, monasteries, theological schools, and parishes and institutions abroad enjoy the rights of a legal entity. Chapter 6. Diocese. Paragraph 1. The Georgian Church is divided into dioceses, which are governed by patriarchs. A diocese consists of parishes united in districts, parishes, and monasteries located on the territory of this diocese. Paragraph 2. Eparchy is the name given to that part of the Georgian Church that is canonically governed by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and the High Priest of the diocese established by the Holy Synod. Paragraph 3. The borders of dioceses on the territory of Georgia are established by the Holy Synod of the Georgian Orthodox Church, taking into account the administrative territorial division of the state. The borders of dioceses outside the borders of Georgia are established by the decision of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 4. In each diocese, there are diocesan governing bodies that operate in accordance with church laws and the regulations of the Georgian Autocephalous Orthodox administration. Paragraph 5. For church needs, appropriate institutions may be created in dioceses, the activities of which are determined by the blessing of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and by the resolution of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 6. The Holy Synod of the Georgian Church has the right to restore old and open new dioceses, to abolish any existing ones, to change their name and territorial boundaries. Chapter 7. The Archbishop. Paragraph 1. The Archbishop of the diocese, by the grace of continuous hierarchical ordination emanating from the Holy Apostles, is the helmsman of the diocese and its canonical ruler. Paragraph 2. The Archbishop of the diocese is elected and appointed by the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia grants the Archbishop of the diocese a certificate of appointment. Paragraph 3. The archbishops of the diocese bear a title, which includes the name of the diocese. The titles of the archbishops are determined by the Assembly of the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church. Paragraph 4. A candidate for the priesthood must meet the following conditions. 1. Must be at least 35 years of age. 2. Must be distinguished by religious and moral purity. 3. Must have appropriate theological and secular education. 4. Must be a monk. Paragraph 5. The diocesan hierarch has full hierarchical authority over religious and moral teaching, priestly activity, and doctrine. Paragraph 6. The diocesan hierarch, in agreement with the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia, performs the ordination of clergy, gives a blessing upon ordination as a monk and nun, and appoints them to their places of service, as well as appoints all employees of the diocesan institutions. Paragraph 7. The diocesan hierarch has the right, in agreement with the Catholicos Patriarch, to accept a clergyman from another diocese for service in his diocese, if he has a letter of release from his bishop. The diocesan hierarch also has the right to send clergymen from his diocese to other dioceses and give them letters of release. Paragraph 8. The diocesan hierarch is the supreme supervisor of the monasteries and institutions within the diocese, except for the Stavropigial one, which is directly subordinate to the Catholicos Patriarch. Paragraph 9. No decision of the diocesan governing bodies can be implemented without the consent of the diocesan hierarch. Paragraph 10. The diocesan hierarch has the right to address a diocesan epistle to the parishioners of the diocese. Paragraph 11. During divine services in all churches of the diocese, The name of the high priest of the diocese shall be pronounced after the name of the Catholicos Patriarch of Georgia. Paragraph 12. The high priest of the diocese shall submit to the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia an annual report on the life of the diocese and his activities in the prescribed form. Paragraph 13. The high priest of the diocese 1. Protects religious and moral purity. 2. Is responsible for the ecclesiastical affairs of the Church of Georgia. Oversees the implementation of the decrees of the councils and other church regulations in his diocese. 3. Supervises church order and the proper performance of divine services. 4. In accordance with church canons, travels within his diocese, inspects the parishes of the diocese, and controls them either directly or through his authorized representatives. 5. Supervises the activities of the clergy of the diocese. 6. Grants clergy and service personnel leave for a period of 1 month. 7. Takes care of raising the level of education of clergy. 8. Supervises and directs the theological training of candidates for the priesthood. 9. Combats all evil and heretical teachings prevalent in the diocese. 10. Ensures that the preaching of the clergy is in accordance with the teachings of the Holy Orthodox Church. 11. Takes care of raising the spiritual and moral level of the parishioners. 12. Intercedes before the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia for the awarding of worthy clergy and laity. 13. In agreement with the Catholicos Patriarch, blesses the churches within the diocese and ordains candidates for the diaconate and priesthood. 14. Takes care of works of mercy and charity. 15. Establishes mission and evangelization centers and missionary schools. Paragraph 14. The archpriest of the diocese is obliged to have a complete list and data of the clergy of the diocese. Paragraph 15. The archpriest of the diocese is obliged to demand from the abbots of the monasteries and the archpriests of the districts an annual report on the activities of the monasteries and districts subordinate to them. Paragraph 16. No one may perform divine services in the diocese without the permission of the archpriest of the diocese. Paragraph 17. The archpriest of the diocese is the highest judicial authority in the diocese. According to church laws, he has the right 1. To give a pastoral warning to the clergy, to reprimand them, to dismiss them from office, to impose penance, and to prohibit them from performing priestly duties. 2. To give a pastoral warning to the laity, to impose penance, and to punish them with excommunication. 3. To mitigate the punishment. 4. To decide on issues of church marriage and divorce in accordance with church laws. Paragraph 18. The archpriest of the diocese is obliged to pronounce the name of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia during divine services. Paragraph 19. The archpriest of the diocese is obliged to obey the highest church authority, the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church, and the Catholicos Patriarch, to inform him of all important events occurring in the diocese, and not to do anything that exceeds his authority. Paragraph 20. The archpriest of the diocese is obliged to be permanently present in his diocese. He may leave the diocese only with the permission of the Catholicos Patriarch. Paragraph 21. Stavropagal monasteries, schools, and institutions located on the territory of the diocese are not subject to the jurisdiction of the diocesan hierarch. Paragraph 22. The diocesan hierarch has the right, in agreement with the Patriarchate, to create and approve church charitable societies, brotherhoods existing at parishes, and their statutes. Paragraph 23. The diocesan hierarch must have a diocesan council and appoint its members and employees. Paragraph 24. The diocesan hierarch is the supreme supervisor of the church property of his diocese, and he is responsible for this property before the Holy Synod and the Catholicos Patriarch. Paragraph 25. A defunct diocese is temporarily governed by a hierarch appointed by the Catholicos Patriarch. At this time, no measures are taken to reorganize diocesan life and no changes are made to the work begun during the reign of the previous patriarch. Paragraph 26. Upon the dissolution of the diocese, the diocesan council shall seal the diocesan house and all institutions, and the Patriarchate of Georgia shall appoint a commission to audit the property of the diocese and draw up a corresponding act for transfer to the newly appointed patriarch. Paragraph 27. The ordination of the patriarchs of the Georgian Church shall be performed in the Patriarchal Cathedral of the Holy 12 Apostles in Svetitskhoveli, Mtskheta. Paragraph 28. The Patriarch of the diocese shall have his own turban and seal. Paragraph 29. Upon reaching the age of 75 years, the archpriest of the diocese is obliged to ask the Catholicos Patriarch for permission to retire. Paragraph 30. The archpriest of the diocese does not have the right to arbitrarily enter and perform priestly duties in another diocese without permission. Chapter 8. The Diocesan Council. Paragraph 1. The Diocesan Council is a deliberative, collegial body that assists the archpriest of the diocese in the governance of the diocese and is directly subordinate to him. Paragraph 2. The purpose of the Diocesan Council is to discuss issues related to the governance of the diocese together with the archpriest. Paragraph 3. The members of the Diocesan Council and its employees are appointed and dismissed by the ruling archpriest. Paragraph 4. The chairman of the Diocesan Council is the ruling archbishop of the diocese. Paragraph 5. The members of the Diocesan Council are the archbishop for clergymen and 2 laymen. They must be distinguished by high moral character, with the necessary theological education and life experience. Paragraph 6. The sessions of the Diocesan Council are held regularly, once a quarter and as needed. Paragraph 7. The Diocesan Council has its own secretary, who is appointed by the archpriest of the diocese from among the members of the council. The secretary is responsible for preparing the materials necessary for the sessions and drawing up the appropriate minutes and documentation. Paragraph 8. The minutes of the Diocesan Council sessions are signed by all members of the council. Paragraph 9. The ruling archpriest is the highest judicial authority of the diocese. The Diocesan Council assists the archpriest of the diocese in the exercise of judicial power with advice and opinions. Paragraph 10. After due consideration, the Diocesan Council, with the right of deliberative vote, presents the judicial case to the archpriest of the diocese. The ruling bishop shall issue a verdict as the highest judicial authority of the diocese. Paragraph 11. A member of the Diocesan Council who has any personal interest in the given court case shall not participate in its consideration. Paragraph 12. The Diocesan Council shall be competent to consider the following types of court cases. 1. Apostasy from the sacraments by clergy and laity. 2. Violation of church and moral laws by them. 3. Church marriage and divorce. 4. And other issues related to church order. Paragraph 13. The Diocesan Council shall consider court cases in accordance with the Statute on the Ecclesiastical Court of the Church of Georgia. Chapter 9. Districts Triarchates. Paragraph 1. The dioceses of the Church of Georgia are divided into districts, triarchates. Paragraph 2. The heads of the districts are archpriests, who are appointed and dismissed by the ruling archpriest of the diocese. Paragraph 3. An archpriest is a supervisor appointed by the archpriest of the diocese, whose duty is to maintain church order within the district. Paragraph 4. The number of parishes united in a district is determined by the ruling archpriest of the diocese. Paragraph 5. The archpriest of the district has the right to resolve disagreements between clergy, church employees, and also between clergy and church employees in the district subordinate to him. Paragraph 6. The archpriest of the district may be a member of the Diocesan Council. Paragraph 7. The archpriest of the district shall annually submit a report in the prescribed form to the ruling bishop of the diocese on the state of the district and his activities. Paragraph 8. In each district, the clergy shall elect a pastor from among its members, who shall be approved by the archpriest of the diocese. Paragraph 9. Clergy shall regularly confess to the pastor. Chapter 10. Parish. Paragraph 1. The dioceses of the Georgian Church are divided into districts, and the districts into parishes. Paragraph 2. A parish is a community of Orthodox Christians united with a church, consisting of clergy and laity. Parish. This is a part of the diocese which is under the canonical rule of the diocesan bishop. Paragraph 3. The parish is headed by a prelate appointed by the diocesan bishop, who is assisted in the management and governance by the parish council. Paragraph 4. The establishment of new parishes or the abolition of a parish is carried out with the blessing of the governing diocesan bishop. Paragraph 5. The parish must necessarily have one church or chapel. The construction, decoration, and repair of parish churches, chapels, and chapels is carried out with the permission of the governing diocesan bishop. Paragraph 6. The clergy in the parish is appointed and dismissed by the governing diocesan bishop. Paragraph 7. The priest of the parish, the head priest. 1. It is desirable that he permanently resides in the territory of the parish. He is obliged not to arbitrarily abandon his parish, especially when an epidemic is spreading in the parish or any other danger threatens it. 2. He must constantly wear the vestments appropriate to his clerical rank. 3. He must not be engaged in such activities that are not in accordance with his clerical rank. 4. He must not attend entertainments inappropriate for his clerical rank. 5. He must constantly read the Holy Scriptures and the works of the Holy Fathers, be familiar with theological literature, and preach. 6. He must properly perform church services and priestly duties. 7. He must take care of the repair and decoration of the temple and church buildings. 8. He must take care of the purchase, storage, and protection of items necessary for divine services. 9. He must take care of church discipline and morality and give warnings and instructions to offenders. 10. He must strictly carry out the decrees and instructions of the ruling priest of the diocese. 11. He must take care of the sick, widows, orphans, and the poor. 12. He must keep church documents, write the parish chronicle, and take care of filling the archive. 13. He must take care of the arrangement of the parish library. 14. When deciding on all important issues, he must address the ruling priest of the diocese or the district archbishop. 15. Called to combat the superstition and heresy prevalent in the parish. 16. Supervised. A. To ensure the proper performance of their duties by church employees. 17. Must take care of church property, keep an inventory book. He is responsible for church property before the archpriest of the diocese, the Catholicos Patriarch, and the Holy Synod. 18. Must convene meetings of the parish council once a month. 19. Must convene a parish meeting once a year, which he himself chairs. 20. Must submit to the district governor and the archpriest of the diocese an annual report on the state of the parish and his activities. Paragraph 8. The priest, the head of the parish, may take leave and leave his parish for 1 month, with the blessing of the archpriest of the diocese. Paragraph 9. Every member of the parish must be a person of the Orthodox faith who has a living connection with his parish church. Paragraph 10. Every member of the parish is obliged to attend divine services, regularly confess and receive communion, observe church canons, strive for spiritual and moral perfection, and strive for the welfare of the parish. Paragraph 11. The members of the parish council are the clergy and laity who are members of this parish. Paragraph 12. The parish council elects the members of the parish council for a term of 1 year, who are approved by the ruling archpriest of the diocese. Paragraph 13. The parish council consists of all clergy and 3 laity serving in the church. Paragraph 14. The chairman of the parish council is the parish priest. Paragraph 15. In agreement with the archpriest, the parish council appoints a layman for a term of 1 year who records the income and expenses of the church, for which a special book is created. Every month, the parish council controls the monetary and material funds of the parish. In case of violation, the archpriest, upon the recommendation of the head priest, imposes a punishment on the offender or releases him. Paragraph 16. In the event of the death of the head priest or his transfer to another place, the parish council inspects the property of the parish, describes it, and draws up a corresponding act, which it transfers to the archpriest of the diocese and the head priest appointed by him. Paragraph 17. The parish council is accountable to the archpriest governing the diocese. Paragraph 18. Each parish occupies a certain territory, except for city parishes, the boundaries of which can only be changed by the ruling bishop of the diocese. Paragraph 19. In the event of the abolition of a parish, Its property shall pass into the ownership of the diocese. Paragraph 20. The head of the parish shall have the appropriate vestment and seal. Chapter 11. Monasteries. Paragraph 1. A monastery is a dwelling in which a community of monks or nuns lives and works. In these communities, monks or nuns are united by vows of poverty, celibacy, and obedience, and dedicate their lives to chastity and prayer. Paragraph 2. Permission to establish monasteries is granted by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia or the Holy Synod upon the recommendation of the ruling patriarch of the diocese and in compliance with the canonical procedure. Paragraph 3. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia has the right to establish Stavropagal monasteries throughout the territory within the jurisdiction of the Patriarchate of Georgia. Paragraph 4. Stavropagal monasteries fall directly under the jurisdiction of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 5. Other monasteries located on the territory of the diocese are subject to the jurisdiction of the ruling patriarch. Paragraph 6. Monasteries enjoy the rights of a legal entity, have a seal, and a trifascia. Paragraph 7. All monasteries of the Georgian Church are filled with persons of the Orthodox confession who desire to lead a monastic life, with the blessing of the ruling patriarch. Paragraph 8. Monasteries carry out their activities in accordance with the regulation on monasteries and monasteries of the Georgian Church. Each monastery may have its own specific tibekan, but it must comply with the regulation and be approved by the Catholicos Patriarch or the Holy Synod. Paragraph 9. Monasteries have the right to have rivals, the establishment of which is permitted by the Catholicos Patriarch or the Holy Synod. A rival is a temple with its own buildings and structures, which is under the jurisdiction of the monastery but is located outside its borders. It is possible on the territory of another diocese. The activities of the monastery are regulated by the regulations on monasteries and monastic territories of the Georgian Church, as well as by the tibekan of the monastery to which the monastery belongs. The monastery falls under the jurisdiction of the Patriarchate on the territory of which diocese it is located. Chapter 12. Church Finances and Property. Paragraph 1. The Georgian Church provides for its material needs on the basis of self-financing. Paragraph 2. Its finances are formed by voluntary donations of believers, donations for the implementation of church rules, the sale of products produced by church enterprises, and other church economic activities. Paragraph 3. The central church budget is formed in the Patriarchate by the diocese, with funds transferred by the diocese, Stavropagal monasteries, and other church economic institutions, the percentage of which is determined by the Holy Synod. Paragraph 4. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and the Holy Synod are the administrators of the general church finances. Paragraph 5. The departments and institutions of the Patriarchate are financed from general church funds, except for those departments that are capable of self-financing. Paragraph 6. The budget of the diocese is formed by transferring a percentage determined by the Holy Synod from the income of parishes, monasteries, and diocesan economic institutions. Paragraph 7. The managing authority of the general diocesan funds within the budget is the ruling archpriest, who keeps records of the funds allocated for church purposes. Paragraph 8. The funds of parishes are formed from voluntary donations of believers and income from the sale of candles, church literature, and other items issued by the Patriarchate. Paragraph 9. The managing authority of the parish funds within the budget is the parish priest and the parish council. Paragraph 10. The funds of monasteries are formed in the same way as those of parishes. Their managing authority within the budget is the monastery abbot. Paragraph 11. Theological schools are financed from the general church funds of the diocese where the school is located and from the income of the economic institutions subordinate to the school. Paragraph 12. The cost estimate of theological schools is approved by the diocesan high priest in agreement with the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 13. The rector and the teaching council are the administrators of the funds of the theological school within the budget. Paragraph 14. Church funds are kept in the bank in the name of the relevant church institution. Paragraph 15. The Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia and the Holy Synod audit the general church and diocesan funds and property. A special synodal commission shall be established by them to carry out such an audit. Paragraph 16. The audit of the funds and property of the Patriarchate of Georgia and Stavropigil Monastery shall be carried out by a commission appointed by the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 17. The audit of the funds and property of the parishes, monasteries, and institutions of the diocese shall be carried out by a revision commission appointed by the Catholicos Patriarch or the ruling priest of the diocese. Paragraph 18. The diocese, monasteries, parishes, church institutions, theological schools, church economic institutions of the Church of Georgia shall have the right to own real estate, movable and immovable property, land plots, to lease, construct and purchase buildings and structures, etc. With the blessing of the Catholicos Patriarch, they have the right to use mass media for preaching, etc. Paragraph 19. The management and disposal of church property is carried out in accordance with church laws, the legislation in force in the state, and the regulations on the management and administration of the Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Georgia. Paragraph 20. The percentage of income to be transferred to the budget of the Patriarchate of Georgia and Diocese is established by the Holy Synod of the Church of Georgia. Paragraph 21. The funds of dioceses, monasteries, parishes, and other church institutions must be used by the archpastors and prelates only for church purposes. Paragraph 22. It is prohibited to sell candles or other church items in the church that are not manufactured by the economic institutions of the Patriarchate. Paragraph 23. The sale of candles, church literature, or other items throughout the canonical territory of the Georgian Church is carried out according to the prices established by the Patriarchate. Chapter 13. Theological and Church Schools. Paragraph 1. Theological schools of the Georgian Church are higher and secondary specialized educational institutions that prepare 1. Clerics for the Georgian Orthodox Church. 2. Scientific and pedagogical staff for the needs of the Georgian Orthodox Church. 3. Qualified pedagogical staff in theological subjects for higher and secondary secular schools. Paragraph 2. Ecclesiastical educational institutions of the Georgian Church, gymnasiums, lyceums, schools, kindergartens, etc. are secondary and primary educational institutions that serve to educate the future generation in the Orthodox faith. Paragraph 3. Theological and ecclesiastical educational institutions are subject to the supreme governance of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 4. Theological and ecclesiastical educational institutions are canonically within the jurisdiction of the ruling patriarch in whose diocese they are located. Paragraph 5. Theological and ecclesiastical educational institutions are established and abolished by order of the Catholicos Patriarch of all Georgia. Paragraph 6. The management and operation of theological and church schools is carried out by the theological schools of the Georgian Orthodox Church, on the basis of the Regulation on Church Pensions. Paragraph 7. The curriculum for theological and church schools is established by the Educational Committee under the Patriarchate. Paragraph 8. The Educational Committee under the Patriarchate is obliged to inspect the progress of the educational process in theological and church schools and supervise the implementation of the programs. Chapter 14. On pension payments. Paragraph 1. The Church of Georgia shall pay pension payments to clergy and employees on the basis of the Regulation on Church Pensions. Chapter 15. On amendments to the Regulations on the Governance of the Georgian Autocephalous Orthodox Church. Paragraph 1. The regulations on the governance of the Georgian Autocephalous Orthodox Church shall enter into force upon its adoption by the General Assembly of the Georgian Orthodox Church. Paragraph 2. The previously existing regulations on the governance of the Georgian Church shall be repealed. Paragraph 3. Only the Holy Synod of the Georgian Church has the right to amend the regulations on the governance of the Georgian Autocephalous Orthodox Church. The source S translated by Google Translate. Apologues for any errors. Hagia Sophia Chapel. May God bless you.